We have to have faith. We have to we have to be mindful of what we're doing,
Mm.
our conditions. That's what I feel.
Was your faith tested throughout the times, the two different times that you went through?
I said each time I said I really said why not. The second time I was a little angry because it took 5 years to diagnose it, but I survived it. I'm 10 years from the parotid gland cancer, so um, maybe for a second, I was like, oh wow, again, and then I had to come back and say, why not? You knew that. You felt it. Isn't it wonderful that it was discovered? So I had to look at the upside. At least God stopped it from going to your brain.
Right.
Mm.
I said it took a while, but He led you to the right doctors. They took you away from the others because if you would have stayed there, you would have perished. I said
Mm.
they brought you forth. So I looked back and I said, look where you are. So for a moment, when you get that diagnosis, yes, that's what it is. And I knew what it was before the doctor told me because I looked at the time that the doctor didn't think it was cancerous either. I looked at the time that I went into surgery and then I looked at the time that I came out. And that was the one thing I did. That was the last thing I remember, looking at the time when I went under and then looking at the time when I came through. And when I saw that, I said, mm-hmm, it was cancerous. So, you know, it tested for a second, but you can't let the unnamed who we know win. So you can't have
Mm.
it. Can't have it. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm too blessed, you know. So it takes. I just think you have to have the faith. I really do. Why
Mm.
not? Are you undergoing anything presently?
My daughter,
How old is she?
13. She has, so we just did a liver biopsy today. They don't know why her liver levels keeps going up. And I think a bigger part of me is because a year ago, her close friend passed away from cancer. And she passed away after the second bout, because the first time she was diagnosed with cancer, she was 2, and then 16 years later she got it again, but it got a different kind of cancer. And her dad and her friend's cousin also passed away, and they were both, one was 9 and one was 19. And so I guess for me, it's, as you know, she has her medical issues, and there's nothing that, to look at her, she looks fine. She doesn't really complain of anything. She doesn't look like a child that's sick. Like, nothing makes sense. And so, with all of these new medical things, diagnosis that keeps popping up, it's like, not to say that I fear that it is, but it makes me just quite, because it's just like, that's all I keep hearing. That's like all I keep hearing from other people, like with their own medical issues. So it just makes me super nervous. And it's, I talk to Bianca all the time about having faith and you're not in control. But it's like, when it comes knocking at your door, like, that's the real test of your faith. Like, where is your relationship? Like, can you practice everything you preach? And right now, like I said, I was next to her when I got on. So I ran away from her because ultimately I try to stay strong, and I don't want her to know how I'm truly feeling and what my worries are, because I know once I start showing that, then she'll start worrying. So, like, I try to be as strong as possible and just say, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's fine. God got it in control." But I know internally, it's like, I don't know what to think, and I don't know how to feel. I don't know what direction. It's just like, God. So my prayer honestly is, and just listening to you, my prayer is, Lord, you're in control. This is your child, and healing is yours if you want it. But if it's not, and we're going to go down a road help me to deal with that, because I've learned not to just pray just healing, but if healing is not in the cards right now, then help me with whatever that is.
At first, you don't know what it is yet.
I don't.
So stop giving it life because you don't know what it is yet. You haven't come to that road yet. It's harder for you because you're the mother and we're the nurturers and we're the givers. I understand. I really, really understand that. Is your daughter heavy?
No, she's a small, she's a petite child.
Her levels are high.
Her liver level, so she has couple diseases. She has intestinal, she has ulcerative colitis, and she has a liver disease,
Okay,
and both of them are high.
okay, okay. Well, I know you're concerned. You just have to wait and see what happens. I don't. I wouldn't call it cancer. I wouldn't call it cancer. I wouldn't give it a name because you don't know what it is yet. You don't know what you're dealing with. I have high levels. My AST and my I think ASL levels have always been high. I have a very fatty liver, but it's not cancerous. Um,
Mhm.
so wait, pray, um, and just keep faith.
Mhm.
You don't know what it is.
Well, I wouldn't say it is cancer or think it is cancer. I think it's just because of so many other people in our life that's close to us, and the doctor doesn't feel, he's not saying that anyway.
That's not your journey. That was their journey, and it's unfortunate because they were young. So just wait. I know we like to be in control and just fly, especially our children. Our children, I understand. I feel, but wait, because it's giving you a lot of agita. It's giving you a lot of internal stress, and you just don't need that right now, and neither does your daughter. So wait, pray, be patient, and let's just see where that road leads you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, wait.
So, Ms. Deb,
Thank you.
You're
one question
yeah.
for you.
I'm gonna.
Um,
What's your daughter's name?
Renee.
Renee.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
so, Ms. Deb, I did have one question
Yeah.
for you. I know that you said your providers were not listening to you. In the past, I've read articles and even heard stories about the the relationship between Black women and their providers.
Oh yeah.
Is that, I'm sure you have an opinion about that.
Oh yes. They disregard what we're saying. Um. But I was persistent.
Mm,
They do. They do. With black people,
mm,
our levels of pain, it's we're treated completely different. And I think that's why it's important to have doctors that are um, racially sensitive to others' needs or have some type of diversity training. My internal my internal physician now is Hispanic, and I love him dearly. Um, my other doctors are, oh wow, black. Uh, um, and I have a few white ones also that are wonderful also. But you have to find the right fit. You have to find the doctor that's going to listen to you, that has an ear, that has the empathy, that has the patience.
mm,
Because when we go into a doctor's office, we're just dollar signs depending on how much insurance you have and how much they're going to be compensated for your insurance. And I always say that when we walk in, we're either a vacation, tuition, an addition on their house,
wow.
or uh, the new stock options. That's what we are when we walk in. So we have to find the doctor that has, and it's wonderful if you can find a Christian doctors also. They're very, very good. My oncologist um, was a Christian. Oh, and my internal medicine, yeah, because they have a different ear. And I
Mm,
think that's important. You have to find the right fit
mm,
because they do disregard us.
mm,
And that's why there's been a high fatality or mortality with Black women in childbirth with Black people because we're treated differently. It's very unfortunate.
Mm, wow. So, I mean, we're about to wrap up. I'm have my
Okay. Oh,
last.
it's been wonderful. Have I
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So, before I ask my last question, did anybody else on the call want to ask Miss Debbie anything? Either you can type your question or you can ask to unmute. That's fine, whichever or. Okay. So, what advice do you want to give women who are going through the same thing that you went through, Miss Deb?
well, there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Strong. Um, Stay in the Word. Surround yourself with very positive people, spiritual people.
Mm,
Not all spiritual people are positive. Remember that.
mm,
Um, so be careful who you bring into your inner circle,
mhm.
and just believe that. And I truly do that. The Lord closes doors. I'm telling you, He does. I'm telling you, He does. Because when doctors see me, quite a few doctors have seen me in years, 10 years, and the mouth drops open. Out of the 15, out of the 17 lymph nodes that they removed, 15 of them were cancerous. 15, not one, 15. So just believe that there's life. Take care of yourself. Be strong and be true to thyself.
So, one more question. What has cancer taught you?
Oh, cancer has taught me to live life to its fullest, to look for the joy, to appreciate every single moment that I have here on God's earth, to love others, to be kind, and just appreciate the Lord's grace, how He's provided me with another day, and others can be provided with the same thing, and to share with others, to let them know so that they can understand. That's it.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much
You're so
for.
welcome. You're so welcome.
And well, if anybody has any additional questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, and then I will get those questions sent to Miss.
Take care of those Tata ladies. Do those self examinations. Know your body. Do not listen to the doctors. You keep going until you feel resolved and you're getting the answers. And find doctors that listen to you because you know.
Mm,
And just share with others. That's it. Love
awesome.
to everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Debbie. All right, everyone. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for being with
You're
us.
so welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Good everyone.
have a
And
good evening.
water. Okay.
All righty.
Okay. Bye bye.